This is Studio A, MI's flagship recording studio. It features the SSL Duality. The name Duality means that it has both digital and analog circuitry. For example, the Duality Fuse mic pre has this super analog sound. It allows you to crank it to get more and more richness out of the mic pre, and you can actually also implement a drive or harmonic variable to the sound, make it even more lush, or contouring it exactly to the sound that you want to get. It also implements a fully dynamic section, an industry-leading EQ section, full feeds to all the outboard gear you could ever want. We've got reverbs, delays, flangers, you name it, we've got the outboard gear for it, and these are the feeds to it. Full panoramic section, and all the faders you need. We also have the world-renowned SSL Master Bus. This is one of the best master bus compressors you can use. You'll see it in tons of software and plug-in emulations out there. They do a great job, but the real thing is where you want to go. In this studio, you have access to this entire console to use as you need. You'll learn it, and you'll be able to book the studio so that you can use and learn the studio on your own terms. Nobody hovering over you, telling you what to do. You'll be able to route the signal in any direction you need. You also have the Yamaha NS10s. These are there so that you can get a translated sound of what it might sound like on a home stereo system. These are very, very common in most studios. We also have the Genelec 1031As. These give you a very clean, very honest sound. We also have the Augsburger speakers paired beautifully with the Bryston amplifiers. These speakers are routinely tuned so they give you the flattest frequency response across the entire spectrum. All of this paired beautifully with the sound of the actual room, or I should say lack thereof, because there is no sound of the room because of how beautifully it's been treated. The walls are not parallel so that nothing is bouncing off one another. There is no color that's going to be added to the sound of the speakers. That way, when you're recording or if you're mixing, you get the truest sound from the speakers possible. Also in this room, you get the advantage of working with some amazing outboard gear. We've got tons of outboard EQs, we've got reverbs, flangers, delays, compressors, some of my favorites like the VT737 SP by Avalon, which is both a compressor and an EQ and a mic pre. Sounds very, very wonderful, used around the world, most famous for its bass DI and its vocal transparency, extremely clean. We've also got the Focusrite Red, which is a very, very well-known mastering EQ. We also have the Lexicon unit here, which is a very world-renowned reverb unit. It has a plethora of other effects as well, but it's most known for its reverb sounds. In addition to all this outboard gear and Pro Tools as our main digital audio workstation, we also have a tape machine. And every single quarter, a teacher comes in and shows the students how to use the tape machine. So you get to experience what it was like for the pioneers to splice the tape together, to record to the tape, to calibrate the tape machine, and so on. Behind me is the live room, which is where we do most of the tracking. It's been meticulously engineered to get the best acoustics possible. It's where students will be recording singers, they'll be recording rock bands, or perhaps a string and brass section. Now, artists need to hear themselves, so we, in this room, have the Hearback system, which allows the individual talent to control their headphone mix exactly how they want it. If they want the drums to be louder or quieter, they have a knob for that. If they want themselves to be louder or quieter, they have a knob for that as well, saving the engineer tons of time and headache when dealing with their individual headphone mixes. In addition, we have the individual smaller tracking rooms, such as the hallway leading into the studio, a vocal booth, and a guitar amp ISO box. We implement acoustic dampeners or baffles to help students learn how to isolate instruments from one another so that we don't get one instrument's sound into another instrument's microphone. And that's it. Well, there's so much more to it than that. Once you're here, you'll realize how much more there is to learn about this entire studio space and all there is to offer. That's the wonderful Studio A.